Welcome into the show tonight. I'm Brian Keating alongside Hannah Hoover, and it's time for Crashing the Boards.
Let's do it. I can't wait.
Look, OU Texas didn't go the way we wanted to.
No, a lot of people are upset about that, and I get it. It's a rivalry game that you want to win.
We'll get into OU Texas. We'll get into Oklahoma State. We'll talk some Thunder down at the end of the show, but obviously we got to start with the game at the Cotton Bowl. On Saturday afternoon, roll the highlights, and the big question going into the game was John Mateer. Would he play? Would he not? He did play. We expected him to play. He did play, and didn't play well. Threw 3 interceptions on Saturday afternoon. Was outplayed considerably by his counterpart, Arch Manning, who did throw a touchdown pass. Texas took the lead, and this broke their back. Boy, the punt return in the fourth quarter to give Texas a big lead that they would hold on to. The Sooners lose 23-6. Now they got to pick up the pieces along with that golden hat going to Austin.
I think Coach Venables said it well in the post-game meeting. Just that we got to stay together, can't flinch, and we don't have time to sit around and mope and be upset. And I think it's important to show my response in the work. Saying it is one thing, but I'll come ready to go. Watch the film tonight, be ready tomorrow, and move on to the next week.
So I think John Mateer said all the right things after the game, did everything he could. But my question to you, what did you think of Oklahoma? And obviously they didn't play well enough to beat the Longhorns.
Yeah, I thought the defense played really well. And, you know, let's just commend John Mateer for what it is. Being able to get back out there after a hand surgery 17 days prior, he shows he's really gritty and determined to really lead this team. Secondly, what we didn't hear there is that John Mateer really made a full, hey, this is my game, this is on my shoulders, look at me, don't look at anybody else. And as a leader of a team, I have a lot of respect for that. So keep believing in 5-1 teams. I think there's a little bit of a narrative of, hey, like, should we be concerned about Oklahoma? Is this a problem? Rivalry game, they haven't won, they haven't beat Texas, and, you know, all these stats and they throw out there, and they're negative, flat out. Keep believing in 5-1 teams. And the reason I say that is because Brent Venables, he gets up on the podium, he says nothing negative as far as singling out a player. He's nothing but positive of, hey, this was a bad game. We are a good team. And I think that there's a lot to say about that. Players like to play for coaches that are willing to really own it and are willing to say, we're going to make changes, and they will. I believe John Mateer is going to go out there and play great moving forward. But I think we got to consider the 17 days. He's not going to use that as an excuse whatsoever. But I can. Yeah. And I think I can understand where someone needs to kind of get back in the groove of things. I don't think he was on the same page with his receivers. He had a lot of pressure with the offensive line. That's been an issue that we've seen repeatedly. So with that being said, I think John Mateer, I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack, and I'm going to expect a different type of playmaker moving forward once he's had some more good-on-good work, as Brent Venables likes to say.
Yeah, he didn't play great. John Mateer's not the reason they lost the football game. He threw 3 interceptions, and that's fine. But John Mateer, they asked him to throw the ball 39 times. He was the leading rusher in the game for Oklahoma. I mean, the guy had surgery 17 days ago, and that's the game plan, is to throw it 39 times. They can't run the football. I'll get into that in a second. They can't run the football. I can't say that enough. They can't run the football
it's not helping them out.
At all. They're going to play better football. I think they are a good football team. The problem is their schedule is just absolutely brutal. And here's the deal against Texas. You know, OU's a good team, and they've turned the corner. And I thought, you know, Brent and all the narrative about him and being the head coach and all those things. And I don't believe Brent's on the hot seat. But the way you play against Texas is how you are judged as the head coach at the University of Oklahoma. Beating Michigan, it's good. That's good. We want to play well against Texas. Beating Auburn is good. We want to play well against Texas. They hadn't scored a touchdown against Texas in 8 straight quarters. 8 straight quarters. They hadn't scored a touchdown against the University of Texas. The last time they scored a touchdown against Texas was 2023. The year before that, they got shut out. 3 of the last 4 years, they hadn't scored a touchdown against the University of Texas. That is how you are judged, fair or not, as the head coach of the University of Oklahoma. Brent understands that. He knows they're going to have to play better. But that is the truth. They didn't play good enough. Put up the stat now. Here's the stat and the reason that they're in trouble, I think, in some ways looking forward and how they got to figure out how to win football games, is they cannot run the football at all. They're one of the worst rushing teams in the SEC. They are next to last in the SEC in yards per carry. They cannot run the football. Most of the yardage that they get and the damage that they get running the ball is with their quarterback. So when you ask your quarterback to do all those things,
yeah,
it is really difficult. You're trying to thread a needle. It is very difficult. John Mateer's not the reason they lost that football game. There are a lot of reasons. He's the one who said it's his fault, and I respect that as well.
Yeah.
But they got to figure it out. They got to turn it around, because here's what's coming up next for Oklahoma. Their last 6 games are the most difficult schedule in college football. That's the easiest game they have left on their schedule, on the road against South Carolina on Saturday afternoon. So what do you expect, and what do you want to see from Oklahoma on Saturday to get the train back on the tracks? Because look, they're not going to fall apart and go, 5-7 or whatever it is. But they wanted to try, and before the game on Saturday, they wanted to try to win the SEC and get the college football playoff.
I don't think it's too late. Yeah, I don't think it's too late for that at all. This is a league where a one-loss team is not out of the picture.
It's true.
SEC has really changed in a lot of ways because of the college football playoff and the new format. This is going to be a bounce-back game is what I'm expecting to see. No questions asked. I think that the defense is going to continue to play well. They had some moments that weren't great, but you got to give Texas offense a little bit of credit as well. I will say this about Brent Venables and talking about the Texas rivalry. Maybe it is unfair to judge off of one game, but I would just say that I don't think anyone's job is in jeopardy off of one game and 8 quarters not scoring. I think at the end of the day, anyone who's been in the arena and coached and played would not see it that way at all. So writers and podcasters can say that, but I think anyone that's been in the arena knows that one game does not define you as a coach. And I think it's a big game people care about, but I don't know. I think that if you go do a great job against South Carolina and the next week and the next week and the next week, it's only going to solidify that Brent Venables is a good football coach and who can get his team fired up. I don't know why they haven't scored on offense in the last
4 years.
But guess what? This has been a different team every single year.
It's true.
So,
no, it's true. And I'm not saying Brent's job is in jeopardy.
No, you're not.
I'm just saying.
I'm just taking up for Brent Venables.
No, I get it. I like Brent a lot. You like Brent a lot too. I like Brent a lot.
I'm always going to be an advocate for the coach and the player.
But you are judged at the University of Oklahoma.
I get it.
How you play in that game at the Cotton Bowl on the second Saturday of every October. Fair or not, that is how you are judged. And in 3 of the last 4 years, they have not scored a touchdown. I recommend scoring touchdowns against Texas. They better win Saturday. And I'm not saying their season's over, but they better win Saturday, because their last 5 games are a monster, and that's the easiest one. And if it starts to go down the other way, it can go really fast. And again, it's not John Mateer's fault. They got to run the football.
Yeah.
They have to get much better offensive line play. But here we are at the midway point in the year. They can't run the ball at all. Their offensive line is a big-time question. The one thing they do have, their defense is awesome. I thought they were plenty good enough to win the game.
You were very supportive of the defense.
I thought their defense was
when some people
plenty good enough. It was plenty good enough.
Yeah.
You're not going to be perfect. Texas has good players too. Arch Manning's a good player. I thought he was really good on Saturday. I thought he was really good at the game on Saturday. Their defense is still very good. They allowed 16 points and 300 yards. That ought to be good enough to win.
Limited them.
That ought to be good enough to win. But they better win Saturday.
But you have to score touchdowns.
But you got to score touchdowns. Stay with us. Talking about the Pokes coming up next.